Hello everyone, I am Guna. I am a Microsoft certified Excel trainer. Today in this video, I will take you to the important business case study, that is e-commerce sales analysis. For example, you are supposed to take it as a role of data analyst, or else you are facing an interview of data analyst from an e-commerce company. So this is a common question. So the management want to analyze the sales performance. By using this task, the management can able to identify the sales performance, profitability, regional trends. That is by using Excel. Why this can be done only in Excel? No, it can be done in the other platforms also. But Excel is considered to be the mother of data analytics. So here they give 7 tasks, and with respect to the task, a data set is also given. So this is what our data set. So Excel case study data set. This is what our data set, where we have 3 sheets. In the sheet 1 we have order data, and in the sheet 2 we have product cost, and the sheet 3 we have city region. So with respect to these 3 sheets, we have 7 questions. We want supposed to answer for these 7 questions. So this is actually an interview question that is asked in a very important top MNC company. So if you willing to go for an interview of data analyst, this will be really helpful for you. Excel is being the mother of data analytics, and we want to have a great knowledge in Excel if you are a data analyst. Right. Let us go for the task. Before going for the task, let me tell you one thing. The time allotted for this question is 15 minutes. So 7 tasks we want to complete in 15 minutes. So approximately 2 minutes for a task, right? So let us go to the data set. Before starting the task, let me go to the data set. I can able to see that in the order data, I can able to see that order ID is given, order date is given, customer ID is given, city is given, product ID, category, units sold, units price, discount percentage is given. Good. Second, in the product cost, whenever you are opening an Excel, I'm just using Office 365. So whenever you are opening an Excel, you just want to adjust the zoom level of the Excel, right? Which helps us to make the data more visible and more understandable to us. So in the second sheet product cost, we have product ID, product name, cost price is given, right? In the city region, so we have 4 cities: Bangalore, Chennai, Mumbai and Delhi. With respect to that city, the regions are also given. This is what the 3 sheets we have in the data set, right? Let me go to the task number 1. First task, sort the data set by order date, that is of latest first, that is recent times. We want to sort the data set with the latest first, that is recent times. Let me go to the data set simply. So here we can able to see a column called order date. So I just want to arrange this column with respect to the date that is of recent date, right? Here you can able to see that Jan 1 2025 and Jan 2 2025, Jan 3 4 5 is given. I just want to arrange this date from 5 4 3 2 1, right? So very simple. First you select the column that is to be arranged. Straight away you can get into a tab called data. Here you can able to see the tab called data. In the data tab, there you can able to identify an option called sort. In the section of sort and filter, you can able to identify an option called sort. Near to the sort, you can able to see the 2 options. First one is from A to Z, that is it represents lowest to highest, and the second one is highest to lowest. I just want to arrange the date from the highest date to the lowest date. So straight away I just click this option. So here we have 2 options. We got an warning called sort warning. There we have what do you want to do. I have 2 options. The first option is that expand the selection. Expand the selection means with respect to the date, all other fields are being sorted. If you want all other fields are to be sorted with respect to the date, we have to go by expand the selection. If you want to only sort the date, remaining fields will be remain same, and in this column alone, the date alone being sorted. So you have to go for the second option. So as a data analyst, we know that with respect to the date, all other fields have to be also sorted. for analyzing the data. So I usually go by expand the selection. So click sort. So you can able to see that with respect to the date, all other fields have been sorted so that our first task is completed. So let me mark it out. That is our first task is successfully completed. Let me go to the second task. In the second task, we can able to see that calculate the revenue. So we have to calculate the revenue and the formula is clearly given. Revenue is equal to units sold into unit price into 1 minus discount percentage. This is what unit sold into unit price into 1 minus discount percentage. That is what the revenue formula. It is clearly given in the task, right? Let me get into the data set. So unit sold is here, unit price is here, discount percentage is here. So I just want to add a new column called revenue. Revenue. So here I want to state the formula. So whenever we are starting the formula in Excel, we always want to start with equal to. Why we are going to represent here in equal to? Because when I type a data here, for example, when I type a data here, it is considered to be a data. When I type some text or numbers or whatever it may be without equal to, it is considered to be a data. When I type an equal to, this particular cell will be converted as a calculative mode. So it is been, for example, it is been converted as a mini calculator, for example, right? So it calculates the formula, right? So I use equal to before starting the formula, right? So I just want to multiply unit sold into unit price into 1 minus discount percentage. So this term into unit price into open the bracket 1 minus discount percentage, right? Discount, when we use the percentage, it should be divided by 100. So it is to be divided by 100. So just press enter. So I just want to autofill it and identify the remaining values also. So this is what my revenue, this is what the revenue I identified. So that our second task is completed. Calculate revenue. This is completed. I can mark it out as green. Third one, we have to use either VLOOKUP or XLOOKUP to fetch the cost price from the product table. So cost price is somewhere in the product table that we have to fetch the cost price and we have to place it in another table, right? So let me open the data set. So product cost, here I can able to identify cost price, right? I want to fetch this cost price and I want to place here so that I can mark it out cost price here. Cost price. I can add a new column called cost price. Now I want to take the cost price value with respect to either product ID or else with respect to product name, right? Let me check it out. Product ID. Yes, product ID is here, but product name is not available. So I want to take the cost price value with respect to the product ID. With respect to the product ID. For example, P203 means I want to take P203, it should be 18,000. It have to be automatically filled here. I use a simple formula called VLOOKUP. So I take equal to VLOOKUP. Here in the argument, you can able to see that in the argument, the first part is that lookup value, what you are looking for. I am looking for the cost price with respect to the product ID of P203, comma. Table array. Table array represents where the data table is available. So it is available in the second sheet. So in this sheet, the table array is here. So how to select this table array? How to select a data? We usually select by pressing the by pressing the left click and we usually select it. There is another shortcut for selecting the data. Select the first cell. Use Control Shift right arrow down arrow. Very simple. Control Shift right arrow down arrow so that you can able to select the data. Now you have to use F4 to make it to be an absolute cell reference, right? So here you have to use the F4. If you are using a laptop, make sure that if it is been available with the function key, so make sure you are clicking the function button. So function F4. Now you can able to see that it is been converted as an absolute cell reference. Now you can go to the next argument. Column index number. So column index number. What I have to fetch? I want to fetch the column cost price. It is available in the third column. We know the name of the column A, B, C, but as far as VLOOKUP, HLOOKUP, XLOOKUP is concerned, we want to consider the column to be 1, 2, 3. So it is obviously present in the third column. So I just mark it as 3. Then exact match or approximate match. Here I just want to select the exact match because the product ID will be exactly matched to that particular table. There is no approximate match. So I select exact match. Close the bracket, press enter. So here you can able to fetch the data from the product cost, cost price data from the product cost, right? So that I can also fill the remaining data. So my third task is completed. I just mark it out, the third task is completed. Next, let me go to calculate profit is equal to revenue minus, I just want to make a column called profit. Profit is equal to revenue minus unit sold into cost price, right? So let me go for it. So let me mark it out as profit in another column. So profit is equal to revenue minus unit price into. So revenue equal to revenue. Let me go for it. Revenue minus, right? Revenue minus open bracket unit sold into unit price. The profit formula is clearly given, revenue minus unit sold into unit price. So you just press enter. So you can able to identify the profit here. So I can able to see that revenue minus unit sold into cost price. So here it is not unit price, here it is cost price. So I just modify the data cost price. Enter. Done. So profit is equal to revenue minus unit sold into cost price. So it is not unit price, it is cost price. Done. My fourth task is completed. Very simple. Let me go to the fifth one. Map region using city lookup table. Okay, we have a sheet called city region where we have city and region. Okay, let me go to the order data where I can able to see a city column. With respect to the city, I want to mark out the region. So let me add a new column of region here. Let me zoom out. Let me zoom out region here. I want to fetch the region with respect to this city. So again using the VLOOKUP equal to VLOOKUP, select by using the tab. First one is lookup value. With respect to this city, I want to identify the region. So select the lookup value as the city, comma, table array. It is available in the third sheet. This is what the table array as we discussed. Control Shift right arrow, down arrow. Then you want to mark it out as an absolute cell reference. Press F4. Then you give comma. Next column index number. So I want to fetch the region. So if region is available in the second column, so that I can mark it out as second, and I go for the exact match. Close the bracket, press enter. So you can able to fetch the region from the another sheet. Then let me go to the next task. So task number 6. Identify high value orders where revenue is greater than 40,000 using if formula. So we want to identify the value orders revenue is greater than 40,000, that we want to identify, and no just no terms are given, either good revenue, normal revenue, no just terms are given, so that we can able to use our own terms, right? So let me give high value orders. For example, value orders. I add a new column value orders. right? I just use a if formula equal to if select by using the tab. First one is logical test. The logical test is given in the task itself, right? If this revenue value is greater than 40,000, then go to the next argument. Value if true. If this condition is true, we want to make it out as, for example, good revenue. Good revenue. If not, it should be represent as normal revenue. Normal revenue, close the bracket. Here you can able to see that in the revenue section, you can able to see that no values are greater than 40,000, right? This can be identified here. So let us check. So it is normal revenue. I just want to fill the remaining parts. Here I can able to see that all the revenues are normal revenue, which means that it is not greater than 40,000. Done. So our next task is completed. Task number 6 is completed. Our last task. Create a pivot table, revenue by category, units sold by region, profit by category. We want to create a 3 pivot tables, right? We want to create 3 pivot tables, revenue by category, units sold by region, and profit by category, right? Let us go for the pivot table. So first, select the data. Press anywhere into the data. Press Ctrl A for selecting the complete data and go to insert. There is an option called pivot table. Insert a pivot table. We are supposed to ask two options. Either we want to place the pivot table either in a new worksheet or else in the existing worksheet. I just want to place the pivot table in a new worksheet, because it will be easy for me to analyze. If we go for some dashboard, it will be easy for me to create more pivot table in the new worksheet. So if you want to place the pivot table in the existing worksheet, you can go by this option and you can select any of the location and place the pivot table, right? I just want to add it in a new worksheet. So click OK. Now you can able to see that we have only 3 sheets. Now a new sheet is added, that is our sheet 1. For example, for our understanding purpose, I am just converting it to be pivot table. I just rename it as pivot table, right? Now, let me go for the first condition. In the pivot table, revenue by category. So here you can able to see the pivot table fields are available, revenue by category. So category wise, I just want to identify the revenue, category wise revenue. Here you can able to see the category wise revenue available. Done. So second condition is that unit sold by region. So unit sold, again you don't want to go and insert the pivot table, not necessary. You just copy this pivot table, Control C copy, you just paste here, Control V paste, right? You just change the pivot table fields. For example, the second question is that unit sold by region. So unit sold by region, unit sold by region, unit sold by region. This is what our second pivot table. Again, let me take it out. Let me copy out the pivot table. I paste here. Let me go to the third condition, that is profit by category. So change the fields in the pivot table field. I'm just removing the fields. The question is profit by category. So profit by, with respect to the profit, category wise profit. Done. Category wise profit. So this is what our third pivot table. So we can able to see that 3 pivot table. So that our 7th task also completed. So this is what the e-commerce sales analysis. By using these data, we can able to analyze the sales performance, profitability, everything in Excel, which is considered to be an important question for the interview. So thank you, students. Thank you, everyone. We meet on the another video. Please subscribe the channel so that if any new videos, it will be notified to you. Thank you all.